it's May 2024, and it is time for my monthly market update. I'm trying to switch things up a little bit, so stay tuned, because in this market update, I made some changes, and I thought it would be fun to take 4 areas, 30A, take north of Santa Rosa Beach, Miramar Beach, and Destin, and compare the data in the 4 areas to see which one does the best. So stay tuned. Hello and welcome, Sabine Robertson, owner of Haus Realty, serving here Santa Rosa Beach, 30A, all the way to Destin area. And my team and I have helped numerous buyers and sellers find their dream home here in the Panhandle. So if this is the first time for you to view my channel, please hit the subscribe button and like, and I would love to hear some comments how you like my new format of the market update. So, the interest rates keep going up. They're at 7.25% now. Everyone was predicting that they would drop by the middle of this year towards the end. And just last week, I attended a meeting. Lawrence Young, the chief economist for NAR, and he is now saying that interest rates might be dropping towards the end, but more likely in 2025. So that, of course, has put a damper on our market. And as a listing agent and a buyer's agent, the activity last week, since the rates have gone up, has stopped a little bit. It's a little slower. And so that is definitely affecting the real estate market all across the nation. But why it is important for you to contact a local expert is because from community, list price and sold prices change. And sometimes it can be as close as one street. This street does not have direct access to the beach. So the homes on that street are less valued than the home just across the street that does have access to the beach. So I personally, if you called me today and said, Sabina, can you help me? I want to buy a house in Tampa Bay. Can I help you in Tampa Bay? Of course, I'm licensed in the whole state of Florida, but I would not recommend it. I don't know the market. I don't know the area. We all have our own zoning laws, our own building guidelines, and how we do things in our area. And it is really important that when you are thinking about buying, interview 2-3 agents and find one that has the experience in the area that you are trying to purchase homes at. So without further ado, let's jump into the data. But I did want to tell you one thing. If you're not a data person, you may want to pause the video and jump towards the end, because that's where I'm going to sum it up and just kind of give you my thoughts and interpretation of the data and what it means. So without further ado, let's jump right in. I'm going to try to do something a little different in terms of my market update. Remember, real estate is local. You can look at national statistics, you can look at Florida statistics, but you need to have a local expert to show you the data. So the data is being pulled from our MLS system. And what I'm going to do this morning, I'm going to take a look at our 4 areas here and compare them and see which one of the 4 areas has the most activity in the current market. So we're going to start by looking on 30A, and 30A is actually divided into east and west right by Great Beach, but we're going to look at the whole 30A. Remember, the west end is significantly less cost per square foot than the east. And the reason being is that the prices on the east end, like Alice and Rosemary Beach, are significantly higher. Then we're going to take a look at North Santa Rosa Beach. I'm going to include Point Washington and North Santa Rosa Beach. And those are the homes that are north of 98. You do have some homes that are adjacent to the bay, which are also significantly higher. Then we're going to go and take a look at Miramar Beach, Sandestin Resort. And remember, that is kind of where Walton County divides our area. And now when you look in Destin, and that is Okaloosa County. We're going to take a look at Destin as well. So stay tuned. Remember, my search includes the last 45 days of sold data, all the active, all the pending, and here you see the graph. We have 76.1% active listing, a total of 1,145, 169 pendings, and 184 sold for 30A. The average list price is $2,000,005. I'm going to go by the original list price. And the sold price is $2,177, showing you the sold original list price ratio is 93.61%. At Santa Rosa Beach and Point, Washington, which is north of 98, almost 60% active. We sold in the last 45 days almost 18%, and we had 20% that are under contract in the last 45 days. Original list price of $1,037,000. Keep in mind, we have bayfront homes in here that fluctuate the average list price. You can actually buy something in the 400 range starting north of 98. And then here is your sold original list price ratio of 94%. So as you can see, if you compare north of 98 to 30A south of 98, there is a more activity on the north side going on compared to the south side of 30A. In Miramar Beach, and here you can see the map, all these little dots are included in Miramar Beach. Currently has 73% active listing, 844, 144 pending, and 162 that sold in the last 45 days. So as of right now, north of Santa Rosa Beach is still up there, is still having most of the activities right now. Just for you to give you an average, original list price in Miramar Beach is right at $1 million. And if you're looking at the sold original list ratio, that is 93%. A quick look into Destin. Destin is Okaloosa County, different county, and you can see right here where it kind of divides from Walton County to Okaloosa County. Keep in mind, taxes are slightly different, and also the short-term rental restriction a little bit different in Okaloosa County than in Walton County. By status for Destin, and we have 78% active, which is slightly more than our 30A area. And if you look at the sold, there was 98 listings that closed in the last 45 days, and pendings are 10.2%. So a few less pendings than in Miramar Beach. And here is your average original list price right at $1,098,000. And if you're looking at your sold list ratio, it is 96.4%. Area that has most of the pendings and solds for the last 45 days is North Santa Rosa Beach, but they are all pretty similar in terms of activity, in terms of sold and pendings. Of course, there is a difference in the average list and sold price. Take a quick look at the absorption rate. This is for 30A West End only, and our absorption rate is almost a year. Wow, that is huge. So if you're looking down compared to last year in April 23rd, the absorption rate was about 6 months, which means it was more a neutral market. Now it is 12.65. There's over 103%, which is definitely, we are in a buyer's market. But take a look at the interesting of the price changes. The average list price only changed by 6%. So we went 6% down from last year in terms of list price. Look into Miramar Beach as of April, because they always run the statistical data at the end of April, and look at their absorption rate. It is just close to Santa Rosa Beach compared to last year. in April of 23, it actually increased slightly more than 30A. And look at the sales price went really only down by 5.74%. Let's take a quick look into Destin. Listings went slightly up from last month, and the absorption rate also went up. And when you're looking down here, actually the absorption rate is less than in Miramar Beach, and on 30A, there's only an 84% change from last year. But look at that, isn't that interesting? The average list price actually decreased slightly more than the other two areas. Surprising, some of this data. So let's see what that really means. But before, let's take a quick thing about this data that we just watched. What does that really mean? Wasn't it interesting that North Santa Rosa Beach had most of the activity? Well, I tell you why. There's a lot of new construction going on still. And the builders that are building in North Santa Rosa Beach, they're offering such an incentive right now for you to get closing cost credit, and they also buy down your rate. So that is driving some of the new buyers into the new construction. That is kind of like a good competition right now to look at and compare when you list your home, unless you're offering some kind of incentives for your buyers that are interested in your home. Let's take a look at the absorption rate, which I kind of went over a little bit in the video when I looked at the data. What does that really mean? So basically, we say that if the absorption rate is 6 months, it is a balanced market. It's a good market for buyers and sellers. If the absorption rate is less, like it was 2 years ago, than 6 months, that means it's a seller's market. Anything above 6 months is a buyer's market. And when you look at all this absorption rate, it's clearly a buyer's market right now. Even if you just look at the number of active listing and the numbers of closed listing in the last 45 days, think of that. If you're a seller, there was maybe 120 closed sales out of 1,000 listings. That is not a lot. So if you're listing your home right now, unless you really, really price it strategically below the market price, it's going to take a little bit of time to sell. It's not going to sell tomorrow. Onto this when we did look at the absorption rate. But I think what was interesting is that in Destin, the absorption rate was slightly less than in Walton County. But then when you compared the list price, did you notice that the list price actually went down a little bit more in Destin? So maybe they have just adjusted a little bit quicker to the new prices, because basically you're looking at about 8 to 12% of wiggle room in prices. And I remember that when I went to the conference last week and had the meeting and listened to, he was showing us a graph over the last 2 months. And what it was showing us, that the longer a listing is on the market, the more wiggle room the buyer had. So with that being said, it is really important that you price your home right. But even if you price it right sometimes, and you do all the marketing you do your open house and everything, look at the numbers. There isn't that many buyers right now. So sometimes it does take a little longer, and that is really the truth. So I hope you enjoyed this market update. If you felt this was a better market analysis than the last time, give me some suggestion. What would you like to see? What should I analyze in my next video? Until the next time, auf Wiedersehen, tschüss und goodbye.